Right, recording started. Go for it, Viraf.
Alrighty, let's get into it. Hey everyone, good day, good afternoon. Thank you all for taking the time to join another Steam Exchange AMA. It is the 27th of October at 3:03 p.m. And with us today, we have Chris Beckford and Neville, CEOs and Presidents of Infrastructure and Operations at Steam Exchange, respectively. We also have our amazing admin team attending the AMA. And by means of introduction, my name is Viraf Chapkar, and I am the VP of Operations at Steam Exchange. We do have an important few topics to discuss today. And without further ado, we'll get right into it. Please bear with us as we pass around the virtual mic. And to take us through our first initial segment today, we have Chris. Thank you.
Thanks, Viraf. So good day, Steam team. As always, we thank you guys for taking the time out of your already busy schedules to join us. As always, this is most appreciated. So before we hop into the Steam Exchange ecosystem and some important buckets here, as of recently, there's been a lot of outside noise, or as we call it in our space, FUD, being injected into the community by ex-community members, right? And it's really pertaining around the development of our platform. And this FUD proceeds to state that, the platform in which we're delivering is a quote unquote white label product. And based on the countless project hours of research and development and integration with our strategic partners, we could definitely assure you that this is not the case, right? Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the term white label product, what that pretty much implies is that the product that we're delivering is out of the box, cookie cutter. When we say cookie cutter, we mean cookie cutter, 99% of the software solution. And it really limits to, the functionality that's supported by that white label product, right? Whereas the platform that we're working with our strategic partners on developing covers a wide variety and range of functionality, which has been fully customized to meet the needs of our deployment in terms of what we're putting forward, right? So just wanted to start by saying that for anyone who has or had any questions surrounding that matter, I hope that this kind of helps provide clarity around that, right? Now, with that being said, to help everyone better understand the different development buckets and partnership buckets that we have, the following image that you're seeing on the screen right now has been put together, and it will help to better depict what's being developed and where, right? So let's talk a little bit about in-house, right? We do have our in-house development team, and you can see on the left-hand side in terms of what we're developing in-house, and some of you guys are familiar with these products already based on what we showed you and discussed, but we have the Rails Network blockchain, the Rails Network Block Explorer, which on the last AMA I did say we were around the 80% mark. As of this morning, we are around the 93% mark, or call it 93 to 95% mark. We're very close, and we're hopeful by the next AMA, the next standing AMA, we'll be able to kind of provide you guys a little bit of a demo on that front. We also have the Rails Network Launchpad, the Rails Network official mining pools, which we've talked about, and we'll be definitely getting into that a little bit more as well. The advanced trading infrastructure that it stands on, the swap and quick swap infrastructure, and our NFT gateway. So those are just some of the things that when we say in-house, it's our internal teams, and this is where this is being developed. Now, switching over to our strategic development partner, we're bringing this to the foreground just due to some of the stuff that's been going on in the background. Again, some of that FUD. We're bringing this to the foreground with regards to our strategic partner by way of 2nex. Now, 2nex is our strategic partner for our development of our platform and all of our components that we've talked about, right? Our advanced trading, quick swap, etc. for the platform. And we've been working very closely, on a daily, every other day with these guys for well over a year now in team with their collaboration to drive out all of our needs with resiliency, quality, and security in mind. Now, many of our partners, including 2nex, have expressed interest in actually interfacing with our community. And we took that as a very, very positive thing. They're very energetic to get in front of our community, talk a little bit about themselves and explain what they do and what they're bringing to the table with SteamX. So in the coming weeks, the founder of 2nex himself will be joining us for what should be a a very refreshing and informative AMA. So more to follow on that. But just going down the buckets in terms of some of the things that they bring to the table, from an advanced trading development and swap and quick swap for the UI and UX. Now, on the front end aspect of that, what you see right now today is not the final landing zone. I think that's something we've said in the past, and we're targeting for Q1 of next year to begin overhauling that front end as that stands, right? We also have the liquidity providers and aggregation and the fiat off-ramp, on-ramp and off-ramp aspects of the development. Now, I did want to circle back around to the liquidity providers and the aggregation. It's extremely important, right? And how this benefits the masses, if we're talking holistically, right? Not only from a security perspective, but accessibility, right? By us not housing this liquidity in our ecosystem physically, like in our ecosystem, it holds true to moving us more to that decentralized model that we always talked about, right? As much as possible. This also provides extreme flexibility in terms of the pairs that we could provide to our customers, and helping ensure that we're providing the most competitive and robust prices in the market. So that's that for the strategic partner bucket as it pertains to TuneX and the development of the platform. Now, in collaboration, there's also work done by TuneX as well too, right? This is where, they are developing, but they're developing with what we're bringing to the table in mind, right? So those, again, talking about that full customization, our wish list and what we want to deliver to our community. This is what these guys are bringing to the collaboration, right? Not only TuneX, but we also have the University of Waterloo and Sheridan. So going down the list, you can see, and there will be a little bit more touched on this later on in the AMA, but we have the AI-driven gamified learning. We have the Chai Conference research paper. And as I mentioned, we have the advanced trading backend and swap and quick swap backend portion by our partners. So I hope this picture here really helps depict how we interface with our strategic partners and as well as other partners as well too within the space. And I really do hope that this information here helps to answer any questions that were outstanding from our community members. So that was a little bit of a mouthful, but with that being said, I will pass it over to Viraf to walk us through the research partnership with the University of Waterloo. Cheers.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks so much for that overview as well. I think it really paints a picture of how everything ties in together. Thank you there. Guys, just to go through the University of Waterloo engagement, we actually had a lengthy call with them today. To give people context or hearing about this for the first time, Steam Exchange is partnered with the University of Waterloo, one of the top tech schools in Canada. We are working with them on a multi-year research engagement that pretty much spans gamified learning and how AI can tie into that. So we, I believe it was roughly a month or so ago, we started undergoing surveys and taking surveys from crypto-savvy individuals across the world. And we also had a particular survey that was curated solely for our community members. I just want to say a huge shout out to our community. Just after our last AMA, we did see an uptake in the response to that survey. That survey is now officially completed, and I just want to say thank you for that. All of you should have received a small e-gift card there as well. So hopefully that goes someplace useful. And the initial structure that we had 5 different hub levels within the metaverse that would have this gamified learning ecosystem. And the initial structure that we had would be, say, level 1 would be solely around one topic, that was introduction to digital assets. And we would progress up the chain in terms of difficulty and the depth of subject matter as well, progressing all the way up to advanced trading and chart analysis and stuff like that. And after a call today, we have changed around the way that structure works. So what we're going to do instead is level 1 to 3, level 1, 2, and 3 are going to be more of a general sort of introduction to crypto. You can learn about a lot of things, but not too in-depth. So we want to give people a wide range of info that they can access, they can use. And then level 4 and 5 onwards, we really go in-depth into a select few topics where you can take that existing base of knowledge and really push it to the max and really advance it with the AI-powered learning, right? So that's a fundamental switch in the direction that we're taking with this project with the gamified learning aspect. But I think it makes sense and also allows us to have different type of partnership and sort of initiatives we can leverage at another stage. Say, for example, if we have a topic around NFTs that we're introducing to people, we could partner with strategic other communities or NFT projects that want to display their content through our educational means as well. So I think this approach really spreads us out and gives us positioning for the long run. So that's a fundamental update there. We're also thinking of including mini games within this ecosystem, within the metaverse, within this game, just to facilitate that learning process as well. So that's something we're working on. We need to figure out whose scope that actually ideally sits in, but that's something we're working through. The Kai conference, as Chris mentioned, that's something we are absolutely focused on at this stage. For those of you who don't know, the Kai conference takes into account human factors in computing systems. It is a globally renowned conference. Top academia from all around the world sort of vie for a position in that conference. And we're going to be one of the only, if not the only, blockchain-focused and cryptocurrency-focused paper that will be submitted to the Kai conference for review. Again, it's reviewed by expert academia from across the world. So that's something we have been putting our focus into, and we're looking forward to that. There's been a lot of work behind the scenes that got into that with the students, all three of the faculty from the University of Waterloo as well. So that's around the Kai conference update there coming to. Community vote. So you see in front of you, you see a dialog box that says color scheme 1, layout 1. This is how you'd interact, the initial sort of interaction with the NPC. Hey, welcome to the hub. Are you ready to learn? Now you see the color schemes change and the layout changes as well. So we're playing around with a few options, but just to make this a tad bit more of an engaging and interactive process, what we've decided to do is just lay out the options in the format of a vote, and we will be opening it up to the community. So you guys can actually decide what layout works best for you in terms of UI, what's readable. We want to hear from you. We want your feedback. So we will be putting this up in the Medium article that will follow this AMA. There will be a link in there where you can go in and actually vote on what option you think resonates and what should stick with our upcoming gamified ecosystems. So that's something there. Also the article. So we've been working with the University of Waterloo, their communications team and that department to put out an article that actually highlights what this research engagement is about, right? There's been a lot of FUD recently, people questioning, a lot of credibility around the space, and we've been a target of that as well. But we're working on this paper with them, or this article rather, that will set in stone what this research engagement actually entails, and more details around that. So that article should go out next week from the University of Waterloo official page, the Stratford School of Interactive Business Design. Following that, we will, of course, put it out in a press release so that it's globally disseminated across multiple news agencies. Think about, again, how we've done in the past with Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance, NASDAQ, and the likes of that. Also, something to look forward to is we will be, along with the TuneX team, as how we will be having our development side subject matter expert come on board for an AMA. We will be doing a similar sort of initiative with our team from the University of Waterloo, inviting one of the faculty from there to come, be a part of our AMA, engage with the community, and have just a question and answer back and forth, so you guys can actually see the people, understand what's going on behind the scenes, and just paint a better picture there. So that at a high level is just updates surrounding the University of Waterloo engagement, our research partnership there, and the AI-powered gamified learning. I'm just going to pass it over to Neville for our next segment here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So definitely great progress made with the gamified learning. Definitely getting closer to getting ready for implementing some of the question and answer AI, and hopefully we can get some kind of mock-up beta out to you to test yourselves in the coming months, hopefully before the end of the year. So like Viraf mentioned, I have this set up for you guys to look at. I'll put this PDF, or include a link to this PDF rather, with the AMA update that comes out later on when we upload the recording and the Medium article. So you can look at all the layouts again, and then a form, like Viraf mentioned, where you can kind of vote for which layout and color scheme you like the best, and that'll help us make a decision as well as a team on which way to progress with the user interface. So cool update on that. We're going to move into the next section. So we're inching closer and closer to launch into mainnet. From a development perspective, infrastructure readiness perspective, like everything is kind of coming together. Things are looking very positive in our testing, in our dev environment. But there's a couple of things that we need to address and take care of in order to prepare for a proper launch. So we'll get into a little bit of that right now, and we'll save some of it for a subsequent AMA. So the first one is definitely infrastructure readiness. We do have probably 16 to 20 different development servers. It's time to start consolidating and picking and choosing the right specs for mainnet. Market readiness. We have to gauge the market. The market is starting to look better. We saw, every single crypto that I guess pertains to us, whether it be Bitcoin being the big guy, and then trickling down to BNB and of course TMX, having organic pump from just price increase and price action, and then of course market pairs. So like Chris mentioned, we have spent hours, I would say, implementing a solution that prevents us as an organization from ever holding anyone's funds, right? So you always hear the term, not your keys, not your crypto. We definitely believe in that from a decentralized perspective. Of course, we are a hybrid, centralized and decentralized ecosystem. So just to get into a little bit of that before we move on the centralized side, you're going to be connecting your wallet and transferring your crypto into your advanced trading wallet, where then, yes, your crypto is sitting in our ecosystem for you to implement trades on the centralized side. And then whenever you're ready to cash that out or finish your trading exercises within our ecosystem, you will send it back to your connected wallet. That is the only time ever that Steam Exchange would, I would say, have custodial access or access to those funds. Other than that, everything is decentralized. Steam Exchange will never have access. And in order to accomplish that, we had to implement liquidity providers. So Chris mentioned liquidity providers and aggregation. When you connect your wallet and you implement your trade, the liquidity providers is a pool set. So there will be hundreds of pools accessible through our ecosystem, and through the backend algorithms, it's going to look for the best possible price. So it's going to go through all those pools. It's going to find the best price for that particular trade, which is called aggregation. And then it will present you that for your final go ahead. So it'll say, okay, this is the price, click go, and your trade will be executed. But with that said, there's no SteamX pairs at the moment because we're not live. We haven't proven ourselves yet in the crypto ecosphere and the digital asset space. So there's no SteamX pairs available through liquidity providers. So we need to create those pairs. So we're looking at creating 4 pairs to start with. SteamX pairs. We're looking at Bitcoin, so BTC, SteamX, Ethereum, SteamX, BNB, SteamX, and USDC, SteamX. We chose BNB. We put it to a vote within our team, the admin team and our development team. And we landed on BNB because we're currently on BNB. So it'll be the easiest to acquire because we don't have to purchase it. For the rest of the crypto, we're going to actually have to go in and purchase that crypto. So to accomplish this, we need to purchase using a percentage of the current liquidity pool. So as it stands, the average LP to market cap ratio on majority of projects is about 10%. We're currently sitting at a very, very healthy 18%. So we're going to be bringing that percentage down to 14%, which is still extremely healthy in comparison to other tokens and projects on BSC. We've been thinking about getting this done for a while, but a couple of hurdles kind of came in the way. A lot of them were addressed on this call previously by Chris. Some of them were more out of our control, such as market conditions. The market has been terrible, I would say, and the sentiment of crypto has been, I would say, negative. Things are starting to become more positive in the market. Positions in Bitcoin and other, Tether assets are going up. So that gives us more confidence to move forward with this decision. Development on our platform is near complete. Whereas before we held off because we were not quite there when it came from a development perspective. So it didn't make sense to kind of go that direction yet. couple things to note. So when we do reduce the ratio from 18% to 14%, there'll be no impact to the actual chart and the price. So from an investor perspective, nothing really changes for you. We won't be purchasing all these assets in one go. We will be more strategic and careful about it. So we'll purchase a little bit at a time. And that kind of wraps up where we stand from the liquidity perspective and purchasing pairs. I think it's exciting because we're almost there, right? We're kind of at a point now where everything has come together. We've successfully implemented all of our backend infrastructure together. Everything in our development environment is working as it should. So we're getting ready for testing and auditing. Definitely exciting times ahead. Like Viraf mentioned, we're going to be having our lead professor from the University of Waterloo, join us for an AMA to talk more about the gamified learning aspect of our ecosystem. Chris mentioned we're going to be having the owner of TuneX join probably our next AMA to talk more about what they do and what they bring to the table and what our collaboration looks like. And of course, we as a team will always be here to continue supporting the community. With that said, I do want to stop the recording here because there's just one more item I do want to address. So just give me a second to do that.